let's hurry up, okay?
Hello,
Yeah,
interwebs. I'm Eric, and welcome to the Cafe Cast. As is tradition, there were problems. I tried to start this earlier, but there was no audio for the guests. Thus, I decided to restart. We all kind of decided to restart. So, I'm your
Also,
host, the
you
Looney
slept
Turtle.
in.
Oh, yeah, that didn't help. I slept in for 40 minutes longer into the cast, and that didn't work out. So I'm your host, the Looney Turtle. Today we have some guests with us, and that includes Unova Brony.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fools and fillies. It is I, Unova Brony, your energized and passionate reviewer, here to host on another Cafe Cast.
We also have Calliope
Hi, everybody.
and Angel.
Hello guys, in here today. I'm doing here, guys. I still have no idea what I'm doing.
And finally, Crimson Glow, your future,
Your future-
over... Yeah, go on.
Hey! Stop stealing the spotlight,
Stealing
bitch. It is I, Crimson Glow, your future evil overlord of all things pony, and I'm gonna have turtle soup after this cast. I swear to God.
Yeah, given with all the stuff that's happened. So, today we're going to be talking about the episode A Flurry of Emotions. And just like the first time, I guess we'll have Unova start out with his initial thoughts.
Alrighty then. My exposure to this episode was brought by the 8-Bit Reaction crew over at the Ninja DC's channel, in which the episode, upon first viewing, I decided to give it a mid-tier grade because of how I felt like, even though it was very basic and lenient and how it progressed with like the typical storyline of like doing too much while taking care of a baby at the same time. However, I felt like Twilight wasn't really redeemed in my eyes as someone likable. She did get some cute moments in the episode while trying to be the best at ever. Though that was a bit grating upon hearing it a couple of more times than it was necessary. However, I believe the main star of the episode would have to be Flurry Heart herself. Now, as we see, Flurry Heart was only introduced to us within Season 6, and we all thought she was going to be some sort of Cousin Oliver type of fellow that Second kept on mentioning about, which I have no idea what Brady Bunch character that was, but anyway, but the way that Flurry Heart acted in the episode was just, it felt like a little bit of like a step up beyond like the actions of like Pebbles and Bam Bam, aka the Pound and Pumpkin twins. And
Wait, that would be really creepy because they get married when they grow up. Ew. Yeah, that just got creepy. And they have a kid together. They have 2 kids together.
Are the names again?
Yeah, Pebbles and Bam Bam get 2 kids together. Like they have twins later on in life. I remember weird ass shit. I'm sorry.
And there was a spin-off series with Pebbles and Bam Bam as teenagers.
Exactly.
Oh God, it's all grown up. Flintstones edition.
Actually, it came up before All Grown Up did.
Oh
Yeah.
My God, what have we wrought?
However, back to Flurry Heart.
Yeah, Flurry Heart. Flurry Heart, I can actually say for certain of that, she has moved up on the ranks of my princess list. She is now ranked 4. You know what? Screw it. She's now ranked 3. She's above Twilight and Cadence. Seriously, with how much I hated Twilight in Season 6, she's now ranked 4 in the princess scale. And Cadence, of course, is the worst princess. But the fact that Flurry Heart did not turn out to be such a Mary Sue at all, and actually was somewhat of a mediator for Pound and Pumpkin Cake, I kind of found that very nice, and seeing like a character like that in the show, like that's focused on that, aside from being intellectual about trying to locate their favorite plush toy, which that was also great, and you could really understand why she was causing so much trouble, even though it wasn't right. It showed that she had reason to do chaos. It wasn't just like baby stuff, you know? She's a lot more smarter than the average baby. And I quite appreciate that. And also, to mention about the subplot involving Cadence and Shining Armor hanging out with Spearhead at their art museum.
I
And
liked Spearhead. He was fun.
yeah, Spearhead is a good incidental character, and I felt like the show was going through their criticisms about abstract art very well.
How my art moves you to think of something you love, moving and towards me is moving.
Art is so evocative. I wasn't even going for that memory.
Oh man! So at least we got some Shining Armor and cadence development. That even though it's not even dependent on like themselves as characters, at least showcase their interactions with old classmate. You know.
That wasn't an old class. That was an old friend. Like that was an old troop member.
Yeah, that was a friend that Shining Armor had from the Royal Guard.
Okay.
That retired from the Royal Guard to become an abstract artist.
That is actually quite interesting. I didn't actually quite hear that because of how loud the reaction was. So, yeah, thank you for telling me that. So that even gives more layers to Spearhead. Though he's a very simplified two-dimensional character, he's still enjoyable to watch.
For some reason, after the episode had just come out, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, is Spearhead gay?" And I'm like, why would you think that he's gay? He literally shows no signs of being gay. He doesn't look at Shining Armor's rump at all. He doesn't do anything. He just kind of I'm moved by your art and my hipsterness.
Yeah.
He's very metrosexual, I'll give him that.
But when Spearhead actually group hug Cadence and Shining Armor, the fact that we actually see Cadence somewhat a bit annoyed, meanwhile Shining Armor is okay with the hug, just was like, thank you! That was what I wanted to see it through the crowd so bad. Like, even more like at the end, but just, oh my god. Anything.
And there was also the bit where he was showing them the painting that was all black, and he said it was nights in a dark hallway. And Shining Armor looked like he could relate to it because he'd also done guard duty in the
in the hallway.
In the hallway.
Calliope. Is your internet working like it did before things? I'm gonna assume so.
Yeah, sorry, Calliope. You can continue the thought as soon as you get back, but yeah. So overall, even though the B plot was quite incidental, it at least cut the flow of the episode. Yep, she dropped.
Oh. And she's gone.
Yeah, so it felt quite incidental, but at the very least, it was at least entertaining. You know, at least compared to the last episode's B plot. You get me? With the escape plan.
I'm done, Cookie.
But, okay, Calliope, are you back?
Hey. Yes, right. I don't know what happened. I got cut off, I think, in the middle of when I was talking.
Yeah, if you still remember what you wanted to say, you can say it right now.
Oh, I was just saying the bit when Spearhead was showing them the all-black painting, and he said it was about nights in a hallway, and Shining Armor looked like he could relate because he had done guard duty in the hallways too, and Cadence just looked like she didn't get it.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Different perspectives from husband and wife. That's actually really great to hear and see. So, yeah, so overall, I think the weakness of the episode honestly has to be Twilight herself as a character. Even though it shows her being flawed, it's not showing her in a very good light. At least it shows her cute, but I think she's the reason why the episode drags down for me. So that's all in all my thoughts about this episode.
Who wants to go next?
Yes.
I guess I will, because I actually want to respond to something that Unova's just said. I actually thought Twilight was really good, and I will get into why in a minute. Because I found this episode really enjoyable. And I work professionally in childcare, and there was so much in this episode that I recognized and can relate to. Not just dealing with kids, but dealing with people who are inexperienced with kids.
Yeah.
Twilight was beat for beat exactly like someone who loves kids, loves playing with them, but has no idea how to deal with any issues that come up or how to discipline them. And it was so real. Someone must know someone like that in real life, because I just recognized everything that she did. And so, yeah, that's one reason why I really enjoyed the episode. Like how she just really wanted to play and have fun, but then did not know how to adapt her schedule. Rule of thumb, if you have small children, you need to schedule 3 times as much time as you normally would. Even something as simple as getting the kid dressed and out the door will take forever, and she clearly didn't know how to allow for that. Actually, the one thing that I did not like about Twilight in this episode was when the dolls got knocked on the floor and she put them back, and the sales pony said they were organized by color, because I don't believe that Twilight wouldn't have organized them the first time around.
It's one of those little details that's just like, I don't know. And it's so minuscule, really. Like when you say it out loud, it's kind of minuscule, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I can see Twilight doing that the first time, but
But yeah, she organized all her books in order, so yeah.
To be fair, though, she organizes them differently. Like, she'll be like, oh, first, this weekend, we have to organize the books alphabetically. But last weekend, we had to do it by the metric system.
She wants to find the most efficient way of finding the books.
Yes.
And then we had to organize it by genre, and then we had to organize it by genre and alphabetical order. Then we had to do it by genre, alphabetical order, and by the metric system.
And then we had to do it chronologically.
No.
Oh my god! Have you ever tried to organize your books chronologically? It's horrible.
It's like
no, I haven't, but I can imagine Twilight doing it.
No, like when I was younger, I actually had like a small OCD with my books because I had a whole bookshelf and then my snow globes. So I would just constantly be like organizing my snow globes by like genre, size, and then books, and then by the end of it all, they just all ended up on the floor and I'd be drawing. Because I'm just that kind of person. I was just that kind of person. Now I need to be more organized like that because my room is horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the very least, I actually organized my room recently, and it was hard work. Hard work indeed.
All right. I did like Flurry Heart. This is the first time that we've seen her actually as a character.
You mean as baby? We've seen her the first time we've actually seen her baby?
Yeah. Every time we've seen her before, she sat there and giggled and looked cute. And this is the first time we've seen any...
That or caused havoc by flying around.
And using magic and sneezing.
And blowing holes in the roof.
And breaking a magical artifact.
It's like magical surges, but permanently, as long as you don't have a pacifying spell for her.
I imagine her like being like a poof from Very Odd Parents, so after she burps, lightning happens, yada yada yada, you know all that?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I've heard people say about the comparison to Foop. Apparently, Flurry Heart's better than Poof, at least.
That depends on what you say, but I can see why some people would say that. I mean...
Are you serious?
Whose phone is it?
Sorry, it's mine. Give me a second.
Oh.
Who doesn't mute their phone while they're on a podcast? I say as I mute my phone.
And the same people that sleep in after after they set up an appointment for 9 o'clock.
Yeah, honestly, I shouldn't have set that. Next time I'm doing in the afternoon because I can make that.
Anyhow, I did like Flurry Heart. I thought they gave her a good personality this episode. Since she is an Alcorn and a daughter of two such powerful ponies, I can buy her level of magic a lot more easily than the twins having such good control over their powers. So I thought that worked out well. I said before, I really liked Spearhead. I liked the bit at the art gallery. That was fun. And the one last thing I will say before I pass it off to someone else is that we're only 3 episodes in, and already Spike is having a really good season.
Oh, yeah! It's like season 6 all over again. Oh,
He's
man.
put in a good performance in every episode so far, and I'm really happy about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the writers actually care about him, even the new writers.
Also, one other thing, I know I said that was a bit about Spike was going to be last. One other thing, they had G1 references with Gusty and Grogar, and that was a lot of fun.
G1?
G1. Generation 1.
Wait,
Gusty
hold
was
on.
a pony.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to know. What was Groger's story? Because I don't know if the book that Twilight was reading said exactly what happened in the old series, so I'm a little curious of that character now.
No, the story that she was saying in there was different than what happened. Gusty was a G1 unicorn who had wind magic. She could use her magic to make winds blow. And she was popular in both the movie and in the original series, My Little Pony and Friends. Grogar was the villain from the Return of Tambalon arc, but what Twilight was describing in the storybook in this episode did not match up with Return of Tambalon.
Yeah, by the way, Return of Tambalon, where Grogar appears, he kidnaps ponies. Like, cold-blooded with a magical belt, and it's unicorns he targets.
Well, he targets the unicorns first, and then he goes after all the citizens of Ponyland, so, yeah.
Yeah, just imagine that. It's a little bit like what we saw in Tyrek at, like, season 4 with, like, he takes magic from unicorns directly first, but this time it's a lot more like pony napping. Oh, gosh.
Sorry about that.
Ever since they brought in Tyrek, G1 fans have been waiting for them to bring in Grogar, because Grogar was one of the most intimidating villains in G1. Yes.
That's the goat, right?
Yes.
I don't know why, but every time I look at that goat, I'm just reminded of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, that goat. Get out of my hot springs.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I don't know why. Like, I just remember a goat being on Courage the Cowardly Dog, and that goat looked very similar.
Hey, Grogar's aesthetic with the gray color palette and the big horns and the evil red eyes would actually fit really well in Courage, I think.
Yeah,
it was some kind of Cartoon Network show I saw in the mid 2000s, late 90s.
No, it wasn't late 90s. The pilot aired in 1999, but the show aired in the early 2000s.
No, I mean, like, in general, like in one of the shows, not like by the time I was able to have like cognitive thought about and opinions about cartoons, I was like four, and by that time it was like 1999. So
I gotcha.
Yeah, I was kind of a weird kid. I couldn't speak until I was 2, and yet I'm able to form opinions about cartoons when I was like 4.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the fact that I couldn't walk until 4 because I had leg issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue on with the episode before we run out of time.
Yes, long story short, I love G1 references, and ever since Tyrek was shown, G1 fans have been waiting for Grogar to feature in G4 too, and I hope this isn't the limit of it. I hope they actually have him as a real villain at some point, but okay, that's my piece. Someone else can talk now.
All right. Angel, would you like to go? Looney?
Ladies first.
Oh, Angel?
Sorry, no.
Oh, okay.
No? All right.
So, this episode, I really liked it. It was entertaining to see Flurry Heart doing all that she was doing. Like that moment with Pound Cake. Just that animation. Just like, hey, look at this. Come on. I can't speak, but I know something's going on here. But overall, the feeling of nostalgia that I got when they showed Twilight having fun with Flurry, like I'm just out of it, aren't I?
That was really
Probably
sweet.
because
Yeah, it
you
was
didn't
really
get enough
sweet.
sleep last night.
Yeah, I don't think I did. But I
What time
really
did you go to
liked.
sleep?
Yep. So I really liked the episode. Overall, that's pretty much my bit.
You don't have like any particular special things about the episode, any critiques?
Nothing that pops up immediately. It seemed pretty good.
All right, Angel?
I honestly love the episode. It's because of the factor that people thought Flare Heart was going to be a giant mistake in LMP universe. And really, the creators are trying to persuade to avoid that calamity, like when they made Twilight and Alicorn. You know, the giant calamity of Emmy Larson and all that. Yeah, I was not like that a big fan of that as well. But still, mostly I like the development between Twilight learning about real stuff other than reading from a book. You know, those books, How to Babysit for Dummies. She should have got one of those.
Yeah, those never work.
No, I'm sorry, you can't. Although, to be fair, though, a famous crime in England, the granddad gang actually got their instructions on how to rob a bank through Bank Robbers for Dummies. No joke. Like that's legit. That's legit the story. Like they legit found a forensic or a Bank Robbers for Dummies book in one of the robbers' houses, and they're like all in their 40s to 50s and 60s.
Wow. No wonder they were called the Grandpa Gang. Jeez.
The youngest one I think was like 46, 43 at the time.
I guess they really wanted something. I think midlife crisis.
To be fair though, they all had criminal pasts.
Oh.
Like this wasn't exactly their first go around with the police.
Well, at least they make it somewhat entertaining with this information.
Sorry, I actually own a dummy book myself. I own How to Train Up for Dummies. I don't know, should I? Let's see what else. No, mostly that's it. I just want to see what sort of thoughts for the review I'm making. Who's
All right.
currently making?
I guess I'm the only one left. So I actually watched this with my boyfriend, who is the editor. He works in childcare as well, and I have a cousin who is exactly like Flurry Heart. Like when the episode started, and as soon as everything got going, I was like, "Oh my god, this is exactly what my aunt does to me." Like, no joke, when she lived here with her daughter, who was like 2 and then went on to move out at 4, she would say, "Hey, if I get you a s'mores frappuccino," because usually this all happened in the summer when I had more free time, would you do me a solid and babysit my kid while I'd go out? I haven't gone out in a while, you know. And I'm like, shit, I don't want to, but I get a s'mores frappuccino out of this. There is one basic thing I allow, and that is the s'mores frappuccino, because that shit is amazing, especially with one shot of espresso. Dude, it tastes exactly like roasted marshmallows afterwards.
Ooh.
I live by this. You do it every summer, like when they come out. Do it during the summer, and then go like, "Oh my god."
There's a cafe near me that has a s'mores cake. It's a chocolate mousse cake with a graham cracker crumb crust with little marshmallows in
I
it.
hate you so much right now.
Aw.
I love you, but I hate you right now. You're making me hungry. I just ate. Stop making me feel fat. Anyway, we actually had the same conversation. Like editor, he was like, well, I work in childcare, and this is exactly what goes on. However, I do have to point out that in baby cakes, I have to do this now in the freaking English accent. Well, yes, but in baby cakes, she was the one who was telling Pinkie Pie what to do and how to do it. And I'm like, well, yeah, but she's also related to the kid. It's one thing to babysit a kid and then be like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Okay, cool. When it's your cousin or your relatives, you usually throw out a few things out the window. Like, hey, this is my baby cousin, my baby brother, my baby sister, my niece, my nephew. I need to spoil them because I want them to like me. And
Aww.
in some ways that's true. But then and Twilight did portray that very well. I don't, and as somebody who has a little cousin that is exactly like this, no joke. Like one day I was like, she was super smart to the point, and I was actually afraid of her to the point where I would hide the knives because I was afraid she was going to stab me in the back of the leg.
Oh!
That's not dark.
Go, Chucky, attack.
Like legit, I had that fear, and I talked to some of my family about it, and they were like, "Yeah, we were afraid of that too."
Oh my god!
She's legit this much smart.
Kid.
Well, there's nothing wrong with her per se. She's just a little younger. She doesn't particularly understand. And to be fair, all children are sociopaths. But
I agree.
But the thing about Flurry Heart in this case is that she is very smart. She is very smart. And at her age, not a lot of kids truly understand that. And I think they portrayed that very well, especially with the Cake twins. You know, they portrayed, hey, they don't particularly understand Flurry Heart, even though they're probably a much older than Flurry Heart in retrospect. Like, shouldn't they be out of diapers at this point? What is...
No, yeah, they are. They are actually out of diapers.
No, they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Wait.
they are.
Wait,
Yeah, they
it's
are.
I thought I saw diapers on them.
No, they don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice that feature. Anyway, like she operates on a different scale. Like she understands, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, but the children around her don't particularly understand that. And I think that was portrayed very well. I think what I liked also in the episode is the fact that Cadence did get a little more development as a mother, and as a character herself, and I think that was really cool. Shining Armor, I don't think gets a lot of development in as much as Cadence does, because with Shining Armor, we've seen him this way before. We've seen him as the stressed father. It's nice to see Cadence as the stressed mother who needs some mommy time, you know?
Yeah, that was really fun seeing both of them at just how frazzled and sleep deprived they seemed when they dropped her off.
And honestly, I have actually babysat for other kids, and I've had parents be like, okay, so here's the diapers, here's her diapers, oh, here's the baby food she has to have. It's organic. If you run out, and trust me, you will, there's some food on the table, and you have to like ride your bike with our child like 20 minutes away, and then come back to feed the kid. And then bath time is like at this time specifically. Oh, and make sure she doesn't watch anything that is not Cubo.
Got it.
And I'm okay, cool. Especially don't let her see Madeline. And I'm like, they still show that?
Wait, why?
What's wrong with
what?
Madeline? It's
What's
an adorable
wrong with
cartoon.
showing that? Like seriously, it's very mature for a kids show. Seriously.
What's
And I'm-
Madeline?
Oh,
It's a
Madeline was
princess cartoon.
In an old house in Paris that was covered in vines lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. The smallest one was Madeline.
it was oh, excuse me. It was a children's book that got adapted into not only a live action movie, several of them actually, but also a cartoon, and the cartoon was very fun and it was very child friendly. And now that you look at it now, it's actually really boring, because
Oh.
it always ended with two girls brush their teeth, they brush their hair, they go in straight lines and go to bed, something like that. Anyway, I really thought that it was very lifelike, especially relatable for me because again, I have actually been in the situation that Twilight has, babysitting your much younger relative and not and having like a shit ton of things to do and then kind of cheating. Though what they didn't show is her kind of cheating on the rules a little bit. And I would have loved to see that, like, looks like we're gonna have to bend a few rules, and then Spike's like, no, Twilight, this is not you, we have to bend the rules just a touch.
Twilight is not one to bend rules, though. She
Yeah,
follows instructions to the letter.
But children will push you.
Yes, they will.
They'll push you to do unspeakable things, like watch the worst fucking shit I've ever seen.
As a boy that has
Well-
that has like five nieces and two nephews, they all let Teen Titans go, which I get overthrown and I die a little inside.
So I have a quick question. Do you think that this episode is more a lesson that adults should learn than a lesson that kids should be learning?
Yes and no. As far as kids are concerned, this is because okay,
Yes.
so the children that are in this target area probably are going to start learning that, oh, tiny children are different from me. They're different from me as a 5-year-old as comparison to a 3-year-old.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Also,
And kids in the target demographic are likely enough to have baby brothers and baby sisters.
But the lesson itself is not really an adult lesson. It's more of a preteen lesson because legally, you start babysitting at around 13 and take babysitting classes to get certified in like first aid and CPR. So really, it's not it isn't more of an adult lesson. It's more like a children's lesson. But I guess the overall lesson, like oh, hey, I need to schedule things with you first. I need to make sure I can say no and clear out my schedule. That's more of a adult lesson, which is why I say yes and no. It's kind of a little of both. Namzon cookie.
No.
Cookie!
Yum, 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 yum.
I want a cookie.
Mine.
Well, just get one from the jar. It's right over there.
The jar is empty.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of pigged out.
Yum, yum, yum.
But aren't you a turtle, Looney?
Uh-huh, and cookies are delicious. I'm a cartoon turtle, so, I mean, my diet doesn't really make sense.
I've got muffins.
But I think that's one of the things I do admire about My Little Pony when they talk about, like, hay burgers and make it salads and whatnot. And I'm like, huh. But I always have one question, like one specific question. I think a lot of you will agree with me.
Yeah.
How do they make pastries?
Well...
Wait, what?
You see, there's yeast, I think?
Like, you need eggs, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they have chickens.
Yeah, but isn't that not vegan?
I don't
They
think they ever
use
said they were
tofu.
vegan. They're vegetarian. I mean, they have dairy. They drink milk and things.
That's true. Which is always weird. But, they're cartoon ponies.
Yeah, it's
I
like
guess
the
little
logic I
things
used a
can be-
minute ago.
Yeah.
They're cartoon ponies. Their diets don't even make sense.
Well, they make sense for the most part. Like 90% of what they eat is primarily vegetarian. They don't ever eat
with
meat.
carrot dogs.
They don't ever eat meat, as far as I
Right.
know. I don't think they've ever eaten meat.
Wait, have we seen them use eggs?
Yeah,
Yes. We've seen
Okay.
Pinkie Pie baking.
I
and
didn't-
several
Yeah.
eggs
Well, yeah, I know
breaking.
we've seen her baking, but did she specifically use eggs?
Yeah,
Probably. We've seen Applejack collecting eggs from the chickens on the farm.
yeah, but what do
Ah.
they use it for?
The
Like, if
Dragon
they-
Kingdom.
The Dragon Kingdom.
We have to appease our dragon lords before they go and destroy us all.
But now that there's that blue one in charge, we're
Circle!
fine.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about the blue one in Twilight's memory in the first episode.
The dude bro, Lord Amber.
Starlight! And then Spike is like, that's not how Ember acts. Or Twilight.
I feel like this is very discriminatory against my species, Twilight.
I
Really?
feel like I should be offended. Oh my god, I'm so triggered. Oh,
Yeah.
can we black out that word? Oh god. Erica's gonna be so funny. Anyway, yeah. So overall, this episode, in my opinion, was really good. It was really relatable. As far as a lesson for children specifically, I think it is. It's like 40% for kids, 60%, or like 40% for preteens, and then like the other percent is for adults. Like that's
Yeah.
how I think of it. The only critique I really have in this episode that I don't think I really talked about is the fact that it was really weird. Like some of the jokes in the abstract art museum, as far as funny goes, yeah, they are funny, but I never really saw a lot of new jokes. You know what I mean? Like I've seen those jokes before. The only new joke was like you being moved by my art moves me.
I liked
was
Spearhead.
fun.
He was fun.
Spearhead as a character was kind of fun. He was kind of like a dude hipster. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He was a dude hipster. He was that perfect meld of a surfer and a hipster.
And it was also just nice to see how he greeted Shining Armor and Cadence. Like, he just gave them this big hug, and he was just so happy to see them.
He was just like, Cadence! Shannon! Dude! And then Cadence's reaction to it is just like, the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Like, the best character development, I think, or at least reveal, I don't want to say development, because usually when you're developing a character, there's usually some kind of lesson or some type of movement with their character. This is more like a reveal of their character. Like, you knew it was kind of there, but it wasn't shown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really count that towards development. That's more like revealing.
Yeah.
And, you know, having an outside pony treat the royalty just like friends makes, like, Cadence and Shining Armor seem more like real people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite them being pastel colored ponies.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah,
with the
I was about to say it makes them seem more human, but then it's like, well, no, wait, I can't. We're real people.
well, you can't say that either. Real
Their
ponies.
ponies are people too.
Ponies are people.
Hashtag ponies are people too. Get that cartoon. Okay, anyway.
Something else
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up. Flurry
Okay.
Heart is OP. Like,
To be
as a
fair-
baby, she could do that shield spell, as well as, like, levitate an entire room of objects.
Okay, in her defense though, freaking Baby Cakes showed that same shit. Baby Cakes showed that exact same shit. We just had an alicorn, a slightly smarter alicorn.
We just had a baby
Actually-
that knew what she was doing.
Well, actually, I I can buy it more easily in Flurry Heart's case. I mean, with the twins, I could accept that they had these weird magic surges where their powers flared up, but they seem to have too much control over it. With Flurry, at least, she is an alicorn, and her parents are two of the most powerful ponies in probably all of Equestria. So I can buy that she would be significantly more powerful and have a greater control of her magic.
Again, this goes back to my comparison to my cousin. She was super smart. Like my aunt took her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calliope.
Calliope?
Okay. She glitched out again. Again, my comparison to my cousin. She at 2 years old, my aunt brought her to a doctor, and the doctor was like, okay, so how many words does she know the meaning of? And my aunt was like, 60 or so. And he's like, wait, what? That's a little more advanced. And she was like, yeah, like 60 or so, like she knows the word zombie.
Why do I keep getting cut off?
I don't know! Calliope, why do you go? Why do you go? Do you not like us?
Why must you leave us?
Why?
Why you cry?
It's my first time here. Why?
Anyway, my cousin knew a lot of words, a little more advanced words than, say, the average one. So that's why, again, I say this kid is exactly like my cousin, which is a little crazy and creepy.
Oh my god, Calliope's gone again. Ugh.
It's like a yo-yo. Calliope go up and Calliope go down.
Yeah.
Calliope up,
Wow, now
and down, up and down, up and down. Anyway, yeah, that's also why I could kind of see it, especially since I saw so much of my cousin in Flurry Heart. It was really weird. And since she is such an advanced child, it seems, yeah.
Yeah.
You
So,
guys-
anything else we want to say about the episode?
Ooh. Well, I mean, like, at the end portion in which Spike was reading the book to the kids, and one of them commented like, "Oh, that dragon looks like you." I just thought that moment was just so adorable, and it's
That
like,
was really cute.
yes, it was.
It was like super cute.
This is why Spike is my favorite,
Kawaii.
my favorite character from the show. Just moments like that, it just keeps on boosting him up.
Little moments to bring up your dragon buddy.
Yeah!
So that we
Dragon
can
Ball.
possibly forget about Princess Spike.
Yes. No. Even though Spike wasn't really bad in that episode, we'll forget the existence of the episode because it had Cadence in their worst possible role. For her sake, you know?
I forget it for Spike's sake and Cadence's sake. Mostly for Spike.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I didn't thought it was half bad. I actually liked it.
Wait, you liked it?
Yes.
We feel so sorry for how mentally disabled you might be.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hey.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Don't worry, I am too.
What?
I'm joking with you. I'm sorry if I offended you at all.
And don't worry, I always get comments like that every day.
Dude. I know the feeling.
I mean, like, yeah, we all just need to forget about the earlier season when it comes to Spike, except for season 2.
Maybe,
I mean, like, we did have Secret of My Excess. Let's not forget.
Okay, yeah.
In the
Okay,
friendship
I'll give you
games.
that.
And also Lesson 0.
Yeah, he's got like maybe top, like as far as Spike episodes go, the best ways he's written. He's got maybe like 3, 4, no, 6 maybe.
Yeah, 6, because here's the thing. Season 2 had 2 instances. Then we move on to season 4, in which we have 1, 2 instances, that being Inspiration Manifestation and Equestria Games. Then in season 5, aside from Princess Spike, what other episodes were there for him? No, there wasn't any. Okay, but then
I'm trying to think. Like I was trying to think for a quick second. Shit.
So it's not found.
Yeah, okay. Season 6 is where like we get the most Spike love. And 1, 2, 3 instances.
So 5. He has 5 top episodes.
Yeah. Which would make for an interesting top list if someone were to say do so. Hint, hint, myself.
Gee, I wonder who would possibly do that. I have no idea. Looney, you think you could possibly know? You wouldn't be able to because you can't keep a schedule.
I'm not sure. Probably.
I'm sorry. Am I going too far? I feel like I'm going a little too far.
Well, I mean, we were spreading out from like the whole idea about Spike.
Yeah. Spike is an interesting character, and I think his appearance here is actually a really big help as far as like an anchor for Twilight. And I think that that's probably his best role as far as the whole show is concerned. Not like, oh, this is the best episode with Spike in it. Oh, this shows everything that Spike is. No, like I mean, like this is like his best kind of like place as far as this particular episode goes, because he worked as such a kind of as an anchor, as a conscience. He worked really well as just a really not only a good friend but also a good assistant, because he's constantly going like, hey, Twilight, we've got to keep moving, we got to keep going, we have a schedule to keep, you know, etc., 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 managing to only be like 4 minutes late.
Yeah, and it's like moments like this. It's like without Twilight's eccentricities with like her over-the-top reactions, she wouldn't need Spike. But since she does have those character traits, the purpose of Spike becomes a lot more apparent and necessary, which I really do thank Season 2 for introducing the wild and wacky shenanigans of Twilight when she's stressed.
Lesson 0.
Lesson 0.
We try to forget it, but we can never forget it because it is lesson fucking 0.
Never forget, never forget.
We will never forgive.
I really forgot, actually.
Oh,
Calliope's
back.
Calliope!
Hooray! I had to reboot my stupid computer.
My ears, they're dead.
We were talking about how Spike's role was in this episode in general.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was really good.
That is a long-winded point of view.
Spike was like the little angel on Twilight's shoulder.
Yes.
That's a conscience.
It is?
Oh,
Yeah. That's the devil and the angel on your shoulders are supposed to be conscious or conscience. I can't speak today.
Yes, your evil self and your angel self.
More like your ideal
Unless you're
self and
Pinkie Pie, then it's your angel rarity and your devil rarity.
the devil
Which I never
wears
thought
dresses.
that. Why is that? Why is that a thing? Like, why specifically was it rarity? Like,
Because she and Rarity they're the best of friends. You don't see it
Honestly-
off screen.
honestly-
They're great.
Honestly,
Well, because
it's
she was-
a Saturday review because she was doing stuff for Rarity.
Yeah, she was doing stuff for Rarity, so she was trying to think about what Rarity would want her to do.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
When I see that around my shoulder, so I'm like, why is there a mini-me on my shoulder?
Unless you're
I,
Kronk.
I still want to see a Pinkie Pie Crunk crossover.
Oh
Yes!
my god, yes!
Yeah.
Well, there's never
Have a
Pinkie.
parody episode of the Emperor's New Groove.
Or the Emperor's New School.
No, that didn't exist. I'm sorry.
We never acknowledge that series.
No.
Why? I'll make the Amazing Spider-Man what it is.
Wait.
I liked the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man was great for when it was airing. Unfortunately, because of copyright instances, because of Sony, it was an unfortunate reality. But thankfully, Marvel has Spider-Man again at last. So,
Well, technically, they always did have Spider-Man. It's just the cinematic universe
yeah, the
Spider-Man
cinematic
was-
universe, yeah.
was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seeing
Also,
how we're
as-
talking about Marvel, I think we should probably conclude our thoughts on A Flurry of Emotions and maybe do an after show if you guys are still up for that.
I really gotta get to class.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I can't
understandable.
stay. I can stay for maybe another 10 minutes or so, but then I got to get going.
I gotta make some calls in order to fix up my situation over here.
If you want to do an after show, we'd probably have to like schedule at a different time when or like not even after show, just a random thoughts.
I'm free.
Okay. I'll look into doing that in the afternoon
You just have to
sometime.
make sure to sleep. Yeah, because you need your sleep. Seriously, how long did you sleep well last night? Because at some point I was getting a little worried. Like, dude, is he okay? Is he in the hospital?
No, you'd know if I was in the hospital. Because
Oh,
first thing I
eat.
do, get on my computer. Hey guys, I'm all right.
Only if you're able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta put that into account, dude.
I have
Yeah.
will. My strong will do it. I'll be able to.
Would you say that you have some iron will?
Oh!
I'm walking out of the
Took
door.
20 attack damage.
I'm sorry, I've been hanging around Bright Idea too much.
Yeah.
So final thoughts. How would you rank the episode? Let's do that.
Like out of 1 to 10, or out of 1 to 5, or
10.
like gold, silver. God damn it, Calliope!
Curse you, internet connection!
Yes. How would you rank the episode?
There we go.
Yay!
Ugh, I'm getting so sick of this. I don't know why.
You could make a drinking game out of this.
Welcome to the Cafe Cast, where we encourage you to do a drinking game. I mean, we are at the bar after all.
Well, just as long as you're of age, like and you're at home with like adult supervision.
Unless you're an actual adult. Which
And
they...
yeah, we have
am an adult.
No, I'm sorry, you're not.
Yeah, you're actually not loony. You're actually not.
I'm actually not an adult. I'm 15.
Dang it! Wait, you're 15?
Yeah.
That you have to be our DA.
What?
Or
Designated.
no, that's not
What?
designated driver.
Driver. That's DD.
DD. Thank you. I'm
Wait.
sorry.
Didn't he say he's 15?
Yeah, he's 15.
Then
Legally, he could drive.
he could.
Yeah,
but,
with a learner's permit.
Well,
Hello?
the thing is that besides the learner's permit, he would just need to have. It would just need to be an emergency, because legally you can drive under extreme emergencies. Like, say somebody accidentally gets drunk and somebody needs a ride, like ASAP, and you have no money for an Uber.
Got it.
Accidentally.
Okay. So yeah, let's conclude our thoughts on A Flurry of Emotion. Any final last minute lips?
I just suggest Calliope to save first before she conks out again.
Yes.
Yes, I have a stupid connection. Okay. I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I rate this 6 out of 10 Digidex.
Wait, did you what?
He
Digidex.
does his digi thing. He does things in Digimon. Digital monsters. Digimon are the champions.
Well,
And
what
then-
was the thing after you said Digi? Because I thought you said something inappropriate for a second.
Hey, he's 15. You can't be thinking of that, dirty.
No, it's just that the sound quality. It's not as good.
I know, sweetie.
Yeah.
Dude, it
Relax.
look-
No, I was just saying that explosively.
Mm.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I would rate this as a mid-tier in my own grading scale, which would relate to easily a 5 out of 10. But if for the rewatchings, I might raise it up by possibly up to 2 points, depending on my enjoyment of the episode uninterrupted by noise.
Well, luckily you can see that. Hashtag not sponsored by Daily Motion, the drunk cousin of YouTube.
Yeah. Have all your reaction needs necessary with all copyright free. except for some instances. Perhaps many instances. As long as
A
you're
lot
very
of them.
careful about, yeah, you need to make sure your layout is very hard to break for those computers looking for copyright material.
Namzon cookie.
Mm.
Yes. And
Cookie.
as I said earlier, I liked the episode. It was pretty enjoyable. Although if I were to rank it, it'd probably be 8 out of 10 because it's not the best episode, but it's still pretty good.
I'd have to agree with Looney on this one, but I guess at most I could rank it a 9, but at least probably a 7. So 8 is like a good middle ground, I guess. I really liked the writing. I really liked the comedy. Some of the jokes when breaking away from the main plot was a little jarring at times. Like suddenly this really big event was happening and it was just like, ah! But I think that's kind of going to be the theme of this season, especially looking at the premiere episodes.
Okay. Honestly, you know what? I'm just gonna boast it up to like a 7 out of 10. Honestly, it's not even that terrible. Like, why would I even give a 5 out of 10 for this episode? This episode does essentially nothing wrong. It doesn't irritate me at all. Perhaps it's a good episode. It's just a really good episode. It's not a great episode, but it's a good episode nonetheless. I guess, yeah.
Pat's Nova.
Yeah, I don't usually bother with ranking episodes, but I enjoyed it, so that's good enough for me.
All right.
Yeah,
If that's everything we have, then this has been the Cafe Cast episode. Who knows? I don't. Probably 27 by now. I don't know.
Hold up. Let me check. Let me check on the channel.
Okay.
Do we know our outros too?
Okay, it's actually episode 26. You were right.
Yeah, I said 27, didn't I?
Dang it.
Okay. Well, yep, that's been the
Take
Cafe
victory,
Cast.
fucking bitch.
Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye,
Go
everybody.
Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen.